Hello, my name is Leslie Guy. I'm the founder of Leslie Guy Consultancy, and we have over 20 years of experience in the arts and culture sector using art and image to connect to communities. Today we're going to talk about the art of storytelling, or using imagery to stimulate engagement. My hope from this talk is that the participants will understand how to use imagery or visual language as a communication tool that can assist them to get their mission out, to establish their brand persona, and to allow them to connect with their constituents. Among many things it said is clearly corporations need to demonstrate social responsibility. That is clear. But also I would say it to the entrepreneurs out there, now that the obvious is being recognized, how are you going to be able to, in this current environment, demonstrate who you are, show how you're connected with community? And I encourage you to use visual language and visual tools to demonstrate your brand persona, your brand image, your dedication to community. I have this here, the big box, because this is how some of you might be feeling here today. Now, I'm sure there's a time in all of our lives when we really felt connected to visual languages. Images are some of the first things we recognize. You know, when you have a children's book and you have a child and you're saying book, box, and you're pointing and they're engaging with image. But somewhere down the line, that kind of stops and we get less comfortable with image. And I think some of you might be feeling like this at this particular moment. I hope that after this talk is over, you will not. The power of image. Everybody knows these, and they say so much. They project power. They project place. They project ethos. Some images used to the good, others not. Others used to create oppressive environments, create fantasy narratives. And here we are today, fighting about some of those images that have been used to corrupt history and project power. So I want you to keep that in your mind when you think about why are we thinking about image and why is image so powerful and so important. One of the things that you know about Chicago is everybody said, you got to check out the bean. Here's the bean. What is the bean? The bean, the bean, the bean, the bean. I'm like, look, I have a pretzel. That's what I have. I've got the love. So that's my thing. But it's not called the bean. It's called Cloudgate. And which I guess is important to some degree. But what has happened to that particular image is it has become embedded in the fabric of Chicago. People can literally see themselves in it, but also project things onto it. And that's why it's so important to people, because it's an image that resonates with people, that people can understand. It's a source of civic pride. It allows them to tell stories. And I wanted to take the time to acknowledge what's going on in the Chicago area and around here that is really so interesting and so inspiring. And to draw attention to something that's happening right now around you. And that is what's going on at Mariano's on the South Side. And I like Mariano's for so many reasons. But what are the things that they did when they came into the area is they helped establish who they are and make connections to the community by starting from the very beginning, engaging with the local creative community. And they've done that since 2017. You can go to that Mariano, you can walk around its perimeter and kind of understand where you are. Know that corporation understands and appreciates the significance of the community that it's in, and they're telling you that through the visuals they show from before you get through the door. One of the things you heard what the representative from Mariano said about what engaging with the local creative community does for them, did for them. You can see this image, you can see that work as you're kind of coming off of Lakeshore Drive and down Pershing. And the connections that it makes. When you go in there, you kind of actually see more. And they did a really impressive job of really saying what that corporation wanted to do in the community and the commitment that it has through engaging the local creative community. You don't have to go as big as Mariana sometimes. So I want to let people know that, if you don't have to be huge to do the same thing. So what you see here are images from some properties that were on 53rd Street. This is about 2 years ago. There was empty properties along 53rd Street. People weren't actually kind of sure what they were going to do. And I think I probably came to Chicago about right around that time and was asked to help participate in this project of using art to activate these spaces. So these are some of the spaces that existed. I think it was October of 2017, some of the spaces that we were given, and they were kind of said, come, do something with it. They're yours. Figure out what to do. At that particular time, what I thought was really important was to really help connect the community with the organization that I was working with and see how we could engage the local artistic community to do that. So as you see, these are like vacant spaces. And this is kind of what happened over the course of 72 hours when we let kind of artists do what they do and open up the doors to the public. These are the ways in which art is kind of engaged. People were allowed to come in. Murals were being made. People were doing zines. Kids took markers and could write on walls, and that was great too, because white paint's cheap, and it was washable marker. And those are those spaces today. So they went from empty spaces to art-activated spaces where people saw possibility, and today they're now viable commercial spaces.
So in your perception, how can local artists partner with public and private institutions that may be on the same page about wanting to do more visual storytelling? What is the medium to kind of connect and partner?
Well, first of all, I have to say, sometimes, honestly, when I'm looking for or reaching out to artists, part of what makes my job easier in some sense is knowing that you're out there, being able to figure out who you are, and also an artist being clear. Sometimes when I'm looking for one about their messaging, the work that you do. How are you messaging that? When I'm looking for you, can I find you? What drives you? What is your vision? What is your mission statement? Kind of knowing these things about the artist itself.
The reason why I came to this chat was because I'm really interested in the way of using art in order to talk about human rights and to get involved in trying to make a little change in the world. I thought the conference was awesome, the food was great, and all the staff here have been so nice. I'm totally going to come back.
I really appreciated Leslie's talk and her focus on visual language. I think that it's important for us to be able to talk about our history and she showed great examples of how this is happening both locally and nationally, but also to be able to have hard conversations about gentrification as artists, preservation as artists, and cultural legacies, and how we want to continue that and move forward in the cultivation, the practice of preserving the art and the story through storytelling and the storytelling through art. So I really appreciated this. This was great.
I came because of the storytelling through art, the use of art. I currently teach a class with students, and it's always oversubscribed. It deals with the art in our Chicago neighborhoods. We particularly look at Bronzeville, Chinatown, Pilsen, and Humboldt Park. And so we look at the street art, the graffiti, to tell the story, the narrative. What's the narrative to this visual art? What's it telling us about the local ethos and the people in the community? And then we engage with the members of the community and ask them about the art and what they think about the art. And so we have this conversation going between the art piece and ourselves, the student, and the community and the student. And so it's a very learning experience. Today reminded me of that value, that we're all doing it, whether it's in business, whether it's in the classroom, we're all doing it, that we may learn about the other and not see the other as a threat, but see the other one as really friend, not stranger. And so today was very inspiring for that. The presenter was excellent, and the food and the catering, delicious.
I listened to her art of storytelling, and I liked the images she showed, I liked the information she presented, and I took away some positive thoughts.
Hi, my name is Levelyn Chris, and I wanted to tell you how much I enjoyed the Lunch and Learn story of the art of storytelling today that was hosted by Leslie Guy. It was awesome. I'm definitely going to make sure that I document my community. I'm a photographer as well as a videographer, and I will make sure I document it because I know due to gentrification, your areas will change. So I would love to be able to tell the stories visually. And the ability to be able to network with so many people from different areas was a plus and a bonus. So if you ever get a chance to come out, please do.
Hi, my name is LV Mayfield. I'm a wellness consultant, and the reason that I came was because it said art and storytelling. So originally, I thought that it was going to be telling me how to tell a story better, but it was about art. But I did learn something good. I learned how to use art or speaking to brand myself, and how I could use this information to engage people more in community, to get them to learn more about wellness and nutrition by engaging people. So I thought the talk was wonderful. I learned a lot, and I'm definitely going to be back.
Leslie is incredible. She makes me think things through at a very high level and forces me to reconsider about how I present my small business. I'm really glad that I came to this session today at University CoWork, a great resource for small business.
I want to thank everybody for participating today. You had really great questions, and I want to make sure that we kind of have a couple things that are take-homes for you. First of all, I wanted to be clear about how you can see how image can function in the public space and transform the public space in both a positive and a negative sense. How you can use the power of image in a public space to help establish your brand in the marketplace, and also think about ways in which you can engage the visual artists to better help you further your mission. During the course of this talk, we had an opportunity to discuss how visual arts was used to establish spaces and communities, to see ways in which it's been done proactively to actively engage communities and getting communities involved with their places and their spaces. And I'm hoping that the participants of this talk will really take the tools that they've learned, the ideas that they learned, the concepts that they learned, and apply these ideas and concepts to the work that they do. I would like to thank University CoWork for supporting the entrepreneurs of the South Side, and I would like to thank the creative community that helps all of us in the work that we do.